Your question as far as DJing, like those times, like back in all these times we're telling you about, we used to be aggressive chasing clubs and chasing opportunities. Now it's more like if the opportunity comes, then I'll do it or whatever. Like, so I'm not really chasing. So if I have to do a young boy party, I did before the quarantine, I did one, and that's one of those ones it was a Studio Lounge, which is downtown. Right connected to the Strand. And that's one where, like, I prepared for that party, and I knew I couldn't, it was a young boy party, I couldn't go back too much, but I needed some fillers to fill time. Like, you got 3 hours to play. They only want to hear 4 songs, but I got to figure out the other 2.5 to 3 hours. Yeah. So, like, I'm playing, like, throwbacks, and when I say throwbacks, I'm talking, like, 2018, 2017.
Wow. And they're looking at you.
And
like,
the promoter comes to me and is like, all right, they want to hear the new stuff. I'm like, we're not even in the door yet. Like, you want me to burn through that stuff and then...
And I've been in clubs where the new stuff gets played, like, several times.
I mean, if it's hot enough, I get it throughout the night. Like we can
like
bring
that
it back.
Nah, because it kills you. You play for novelty and you play for build up. So you're trying to build up to that record. So you want to you don't want to. If you play that record once and half the crowd is there, it kills the whole luster of that record.
This is why I couldn't be a DJ.
In party mode. Like, you have to.
You definitely not.
That's why I couldn't be a DJ. I'm not catering to y'all.
No.
This is why I couldn't be a DJ.
You have to.
You can't play for yourself.
You're a listener. At that point, you're a listener.
Shit. You're going to listen to Lupe all fucking night.
Send another motherfucker up here.
Mobb Deep ain't dance music.
He just said Mobb Deep.
No, you can play certain records, but like you gonna get
Mobb Deep. I'm talking about the Kim record, and that's really
Alex is playing
Quiet
B-side
Storm
Mobb
is
Deep.
really it.
Alex is playing the B-side Mobb Deep though.
Like he's playing the joints that got the Bubba Tims on. Like,
Get your hypnotic bottles.
Tims and Hypnotic.
Killer.
It's a bat mitzvah.
If you don't come with Tim's on, you can't get in.
But yeah, those type of parties, like that party was like an eye opener for me. Being older, like I said, I feel like I'm still in touch with what's current, but the kids are so ahead of the time with music. Like music on the internet, like it's the music. The internet is a dark place for kids. Like they'll find anything.
100%.
So when we hear a song, 9 times out of 10, that song is 3 months old to a 12-year-old or a 14-year-old. Right. So even with radio, when we get songs on there, sometimes like kids will be like, "Oh, I heard that 3 months ago."
Because you don't need, right. So now the distribution is different, right? Because you don't need a label, right? No. You don't need a label. So usually the labels would send DJs records. Right?
Nah, you make a record and you post it to sell.
I'm talking about back in the day, like certain labels would send records to certain DJs, right? And so those would be the DJs.
Well, before it came out, so that's what I was talking about. I couldn't get the records fast enough at that time. That's the promo copies. Right. So the promo copies got pressed and went out to the DJs that they thought were the important DJs.
Right, but now, like you said, it's on SoundCloud. It's been on SoundCloud 3 months.
But Joe Schmo can put his can post tomorrow morning a new album on all streaming platforms. Yeah. It's up to him to get people to listen to it. They'll let you put your music up there. Yeah. The streaming is where you get paid, so you got to get people to actually listen.
Like
to
you said,
record.
the kid, the 12-year-old already heard it 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, just now playing that. Yeah. Like my son used to be like, "Dad, you ain't heard of this artist?" No.
Yeah.
I'm still listening to
like
this
that
one.
night. They asked me about a guy like. And I get music fairly quickly now that I've been on the radio for 14, 15 years. They asked me about a record. I had no idea what it was. And they're like, oh, it was Fabio Foreign, Big Drip. And
when that dropped?
It hadn't dropped yet.
Oh, it didn't drop yet?
It might have dropped to
already.
The kids.
Yeah.
But old ass me didn't know what the record was. So I'm in the club and they're like, oh, Big Drip will tear the club down right now. And I'm like, I don't even know what that is. They're like, you can't download it? They're like, the Wi-Fi password.
Wow, fam, the Wi-Fi password.
True story in the booth. They got the Wi-Fi right there.
Fam, you could download it. Wi-Fi.
You don't know about Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi.
That's crazy.
You wanna come do
And
my
then
job,
literally the following week, it hit my inbox and I started to see the press on
Because
it.
I was taking kids to, because I'm still connected to young people because coaching basketball. So they're like, yo, coach, pass that aux, or let me jump on the Bluetooth. And he's like, yo, coach, this right here. I'm like, Big Drip, I fell in love with a lit bitch. Aye. I'm like, yo, who?
And then that became the new style. Now you got Pop Smoke, who had that similar style, and then you got CJ with Whoop-Dee, which has that similar style. So he started a style,
That they jack from
and they started transitioning. That they
Drill
what?
music, the
they
drill
jack
music.
that from UK.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I just learned
Oh,
something.
was
The
that?
sound
that
of
was
those beats, that whole like
The drill. The drill.
That's
The trend.
That was a
It's
UK
like-
thing.
Yeah, that's why I heard it first. Watching them Top Boy TV shows and shit.
But that's one of my stories about the new music. Like it literally, I was a week too early for that particular party. Had I did the party the following week, I'd have been ready to go. I got
He said,
I got at
the
least
Wi-Fi's right
knew
there.
what they were talking about.
The
'Cause I
OG.
had no idea. I'd never heard of it.
OG, the Wi-Fi.
That's
You
crazy.
need to hire an 11-year-old intern.
Wow.
That's what you need. An
Mikey
11-year-old
Megatron.
that just. Yeah,
Megatron
I'm not
playlist is
gonna
kind of,
He does that to me all the time. He just, what's the shit he hit me with the other day?
We at 90. You rocking?
What's poppin'? Brand new whip, just hopped in, or some shit like that.
That's Whoop-Dee, right?
Whatever
Nah,
that
that's
song.
Jack Harlow.
Jack
Oh, Jack Harlow.
Yeah,
What's
I like
poppin'?
that
Yeah,
kid.
yeah.
What's poppin'?
I like
Yo,
Brand new
Jack
whip,
Harlow?
just hopped in.
Yeah, he's dope.
Check
Like,
you out,
I like
cover.
that
Jack
kid.
still.
I
Check you out, cover.
when the
I like
song
him- I
came
like the way
on,
he
You
was
was fast to
together.
that.
I liked it when it came on.
Nah, that's not him. I know this
But
one.
he's rapping
I know-
all the
hold
words
on.
already.
Jack
He's
Harlow.
6.
Got this.
6.
I got this.
10 points
That's
for cover.
Yeah, Jack Harlow.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what it is.
Like with
White
the
guy.
station,
was alright.
the station's starting to get into like
I'm going to have to check it out.
TikTok stuff and posting on videos and stuff on TikTok, which is, I mean, we're behind on that. That's been around for more than 6 months,
It was
almost a year.
musically. It was musically
before.
Yeah.
But
So what-
they're like, oh, we want you to do some videos, and I'm like, all right, I'll have my daughter show me how to use it. She's 9.
Yeah, and she'll show you.
Yeah, and I was serious, like, cause
Show you how to use TikTok.
TikTok.
So that you can do it on the radio.
so I can do video, not on the radio, but we're gonna do like just on our app.
I mean, she
Yeah,
need to check
yeah.
though, but we'll talk about that with the radio station. I mean, are they taking that approach to like have, I don't know if there's music researchers who literally just scan the web for what kids are listening to now? Or is that like the role of
That's what
your
we've
role?
always done.
Like,
We thought we think like we do we have a lot of research and we have a lot of info that comes in, but it's just like it moves so
The speed
fast.
of the internet is just- it's
the kids
undefeated, right? That's what
are
they
far
say.
ahead of us. So